Howdy everyone, Pocho here with an Age of Magic video, and in today's video we're moving into the next round of the AI Championships. In this round we have Team 6 Jellyfish Joy going up against Team 5 Witchy Sibs. Both of these players, great players, they're a great help to the community, but is that going to help them in their battle? You need a little bit of strategic mind behind what you are doing in this AI Championships and a little bit of RNG. But we'll jump into the bans and picks for these champions and see who is going to move forward in the AI Championships. Jellyfish Joy going first with the bans, and in our ban selection we have the Magnus from Jellyfish Joy and the Wukong from Sibs. So Magnus, a solid ban. You do not want the Magnus on the field. And the Wukong, obviously you do not want Wukong. He could rack up some pretty decent damage, and he is just a monster. Now the thing is, with Jellyfish Joy, she has first pick. When the pick selection comes around, she will have first pick. So she has the ability to manipulate the banning process. So there is a decent hero on the field for the first pick. But a lot of people don't utilize that. There's very few that have utilized that. Going into the next bans, we have the Blood Emperor. Blood Emperor, there are no undead on the field. So it's an interesting ban. Very interesting. I don't see him being a threat. It's a big enough threat to be banned. And then we have the Sooner. You do not want a Sooner on the field, especially when picking second. Having your opponent pick a Sooner, she is a nuisance. She can taunt, she can dodge a lot of attacks, she can heal herself, she has the support attacks as well. She is a hero definitely worth a ban. Going into the final picks, we have the Steris from Jellyfish and we have the Mirrodin from Witchy. Good AoE heroes. I think in terms of usefulness, Mirrodin is a bit more versatile than the Steris. Steris can do a lot of damage. He can get himself a guaranteed crit, and he can rip through a target. Mirrodin has the chance to stun, can apply bleeds, decent AoE. AoE is never bad. You don't want to diss AoE in AI Championships, especially when you're banning healers off the field. There are no healers on the field, I believe. So AoE is strong. I know there's the Hargrim. So again, still, AoE, solid pick. So those are the bans. Yeah, they're okay. I think Sibs won in terms of bans, in my opinion. I think she got rid of decent heroes. But like I said, Joy has first pick, so she can manipulate banning if she wants. If that was her plan, she's done well. So going into first picks, we have the Maglin from Joy, then the Pride and the Hargrim from Sibs. So Maglin, pretty decent, gives himself guaranteed crit. He can hide. He's a weapon, absolute weapon. And then we have the Pride and the Hargrim. So Witchy's setting up her foundation. She's got a healer and she's got a tank. Tank can do a lot of damage. Hargrim, beefy. So yeah, I think solid picks from both players. Moving into the next selection, we have the Sneaky Beaky and the Angrim. Sneaky Beaky, interesting choice. But then the Angrim, pretty decent AoE damage dealer, and he can buff himself as well. So he can whip out a lot of damage. And Joy will need a lot of damage, especially with the Hargrim on Sibs' side. If she can't take out the Hargrim, he's going to heal. He's going to give Sibs a bit more time for her team to really make an impact. Sibs' side, the Egnor and the Ryza. Ryza, interesting choice. I don't personally think I would have gone for Egnor at this point. I think there are some better characters on the field. Personally, I think I would have picked a Racer at this point, just because Joy's team does have a lot of damage. If he can apply the base stat decrease to the enemy, I think that would have helped Sibs a little bit. But she went for Ryza and Egnor. Egnor, very niche character, can apply some pretty solid debuffs as long as the HP of the enemy is above a certain percent. So yeah, I mean, if he's going first, he's going to get that little extra round of pressure on the enemy. And Ryza, just a damage dealer. There's no more to him really. He can hide and whip out damage. That's essentially it. I think he's one of the only heroes in the game that has an ability that makes him completely untargetable. Like, no matter what you do, you're not going to affect him in any way. So, yeah, moving into the final picks, we have the Fira and the Roga from Joy. The first player in the AI Championships to be able to utilize the Fira-Roga combination. Fira can make Roga probably the best tank in the game for the 2 turns Fira's buffs are on him. So it's going to be interesting to finally see that in action and how that's going to affect the battle. And then we have the Pig Boy from Sibs. So Pig Boy, decent AoE, can do some decent damage, just slow. And I think he can give bonus crit damage to your allies. I don't know if it's universal or Beastman specific, but if it is universal, that will help the Riser, giving Riser that extra bit of crit damage, especially when he comes out of his hide. It could potentially make Riser a pretty solid weapon. Going into the subs, we have the Lokia from Jellyfish Joy and the Aratar from Sibs. So Aratar, good choice. He has sustain. He can decrease defense, I believe. And he does some solid damage as well. So I think that's a solid pick for Sibs. And the Lokia, interesting pick. But at this point, there's not much left on the field. I honestly would pick Eraser. I think Eraser probably undervalued a lot, but as a support unit, he's not horrible. So I think I would have picked Eraser personally. But those are your picks for these two heroes, these two players. We'll jump into the arena now and see how they play out and who will be moving forward. Going into the first battle, and Joy is the first player to have the Roger Firer combination, so should make that character pretty tanky. However, with Pride on the team, there's always the chance that they can bypass Taunt altogether from Sib's side. A lot of damage coming out on Sib. The heal will come out shortly if Hargrim can live to the next round. Unfortunately, Hargrim did not heal the first. Firer taking a ton of damage from the Riser. He gets the damage defense, or the defenses out, I believe. I don't even know how Firer works, but pretty sure he just makes everyone tanky. There we go. Taunt on Roger. And as you can see, he's not going to be taking a lot of damage. He's going to take a lot of hits for Joy's team. And Sib is just going to wail against him and not achieve much. Riser buries himself ready for the next strike. But once that Roger taunt falls off, I don't know what's going to happen to the team. They have no healing. They need to get damage out soon. They need to take advantage of the taunt as quick as possible and take out enemies. They do. They take out the Pride. Sib down to a four-man team. Joy's still on the 5-man side, but once that taunt is gone, there we go, it is gone. So what is going to happen next? Firer falls. That is Rogar's biggest strength is the Firer, and now there's a 4v4 situation with the what's his name? Egnor? There we go. Egnor, whatever. He's dead anyway. We don't need to talk about him anymore. There we go. Angram and is on very low HP. So is the Hargrim. Got a lot of names on this team that are confusing. Pig Boy about to die. AoE comes out from the Rogar. If Hargrim can heal here, maybe. No, he gets the damage buff out or the stat buff out. Is that going to really do anything? I don't know. They are aiming the Riser. The heal comes out. That's going to give the Sibs team a little bit more time. Riser hiding. If he can take out someone, they're just leaving characters up. If they could take out the Sneaky Beaky and the Angram, it might. No, it's just the taunt on the Rogar going to do most of the damage, or mitigate most of the damage here. Sneaky Beaky coming through. The Maeglin hiding. Maeglin is probably going. Nope, a lot of misses here. Riser really, there we go. Riser finally takes someone out on the last second, but it is not enough. Riser needed to take out those low HP characters sooner, but the Rogar taunt really. Rogar probably MVP of that match, doing a lot of work. And first point going to Joy. I just think the Rogar, with the fire at the beginning, they soaked so much damage, giving Joy a huge advantage. But we'll take the battle over to the competitors. We'll see what they want to do, and we'll move forward from there. Moving into the next round, and Sibs has taken out Pig Boy and put in Aratar. Will that make a difference? We'll find out soon. As both teams start to set their buffs up and move into the damage phase. Taunt comes out from the Rogar, but is instantly removed by the Agnor and the Aratar, removing the defense and doing a lot of damage as Firer comes very close to dying, giving the advantage to Sibs. However, she takes a lot of damage from Angram, and then AoE, and then Aratar falls. A great amount of combination coming from Joy's team. Firer comes out with the buffs, and Firer has I'm lost for words. There was a lot that just happened from Joy's team, taking out 2 characters from Sib's side. Maeglin goes into hiding. They need to take out another character. It is a 4v3 situation, but Sibs does have the healer. If he can get a heal off, if Egnor can survive a little, unfortunately he cannot. It's just up to Hargrim and Riser now. Unfortunately, the amount of damage and speed coming from Joy's team is just, she cannot keep up with it. There's nothing she can do as Riser is now hiding, preventing other damage. There's a lot of damage on the Sneaky Beaky. Unfortunately, it's just not enough. He dodges the attack from Rogar, unable to take out the Sneaky Beaky. It is irrelevant at this point as Sibs loses the second battle, and the second point going to Joy. Joy taking both points, and unfortunately, eliminating Sibs from the competition. We'll go ahead and look at the scoreboard now and see where everyone is sitting and where people are moving from here. There we have it, ladies and gentlemen. Jellyfish Joy moving on in the AI Championships, and Witchy Sibs eliminated. Both contestants put up an amazing fight throughout the tournament. Unfortunately, one person can only move forward, but there is always chances in the future if I ever choose to do the AI Championships again. So congratulations to Jellyfish Joy, and thank you to Sibs for participating in the competition. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for watching. If you have any questions, feel free to leave a comment below. I will answer it to the best of my ability, and wherever you're on the world, until next time, please take care of yourself.